You are listening to Lone Star Community Radio on 104.5 KCZW and 106.1 KZCC Conroe and worldwide on the irlonestar.com.
Trick or treat, Lone Star Radio listeners. This is Dick, the general manager, taking this quick moment to remind you that Lone Star Community Radio is looking to fill some of our talk show slots along with some of our DJ slots. We have a new show airing on the 10th, Making Connections with Stacey Harris, which will air every second Tuesday of the month at 1 p.m. Make sure to check it out along with our other programs on Lone Star Community Radio. For more information on Lone Star Community Radio, visit us online at irlonestar.com. And again, if you're interested in doing something with us, call the station, 936-647-3776. Thanks for checking out this recording, and I hope you guys enjoy.
There's a special place I know when I've got a special need. It's a place I always go when I want a book to read. Going to the library, library.
We're back. We're back. Mornings with Lone Star with Dick and Skippy. I'm Skippy. He's the other one.
Yeah.
And it's the nitty gritty hour, if you couldn't tell by the hardcore
Intro music.
Thank
you, Sesame Street.
Thank you so much. I was trying to remember if it was Sesame Street or Schoolhouse Rock that was going on. So thanks for the reminder. I'm going to flash back to the late 60s, early 70s when I watched that, not ironically.
Welcome to Mornings with Lone Star, folks. If you're just now tuning in, this is our talk block element of the show from 10 to 11, and then a full lineup on the entire station can be found at irlonestar.com. Our morning segment is brought to you by Conroe Coffee, which I'm about to get some, and stop by anytime, grab a cup here because they sponsor us.
They sponsor,
at Lone Star.
Give us a really big urn over in the corner there. Come have a cup with us.
And we have some good topics today, but most importantly, we do have a special guest in the studio. We'll be getting to her later. We're gonna make her wait. You know, what was it?
Build the
anticipation for the
library.
But we have Vicky in the studio with Montgomery County Library with the Conroe one down the street. I ran into her when I went in there the other day, and they're getting ready for a big book sale.
Woo-hoo.
Next weekend. It's a 3-day thing, so you have plenty of time to check it out, but more importantly, you probably get there early if you want the good stuff.
Good books.
And so we're going to learn all about that and learn about, I think it's called the Friends of the Library, and she's shaking her head. I'm doing good so far.
Nodding her head. Shaking her head the other direction.
Oh, that's right. Thank you.
That's why I'm here, Dick. I'm the color commentary for this group here.
If you can't be with us this morning, past this segment, we do podcast our Mornings of Lone Star talk segments every weekday on our Google Play and iTunes, and then we film it for YouTube. So look at YouTube, look for Mornings of Lone Star, and boom, there we are. So there we go. That covers all the morning stuff. Thank you. All right. So, there's a lot of stuff in the news today. And I know yesterday we made our predictions of what the NFL is going to do. Just to update everybody, since then, the Packers have released a statement asking the fans to join in on linking their arms. And so I'm wondering how that's going to go.
Not well. I have a feeling Jason's prediction, where he kind of lowballed it, he said there would be a person in the stands doing something not too bright and would subsequently get the snot beaten out of them. I think half the stadium is going to beat up the other half of the stadium.
I mean, there's definitely going to be the Curb Your Enthusiasm moment where that one poor soul who's not paying attention to what's going on, or might be like slightly deaf, legitimately,
right?
Not do anything, just sitting there eating his nachos, and it's like this guy, and then everyone gets this guy, so that's going to happen, and then
the NFL, they need to find reverse gear and quick. They're just, when you're going deeper in the mud, you like the guy that just refuses to listen to the wife give directions. I know where I'm going, and keeps on until he runs out of road. I think that's where the NFL is headed right now. They've got to back out of this.
You have to ask the guys who listen to football talk all the time because they love football. Like my cousin, he's one of those people who will turn on football all day, no matter what football it is. He leaves it on. It's like a comfort to him. And I can't imagine what he's going through now, because every time he listens to any sports talk, anything on football, they're talking about this controversy. And I bet he's just going to be like, man, can we just watch football? And he probably will sign up for Red Zone, because I think they're contractually obligated to show football. And I don't know if you know what the Red Zone is, but it's probably the most intense thing I've ever experienced when it comes to football. So in football, there's a thing called the red zone. Do you know what the red zone is?
It's the opposite of the blue zone.
No. So what the red zone is in football is when the opposing or when the team who is trying to get a touchdown, they're 20 yards or less to the end zone. And so what red zone football on TV is, they show every game at that time on NFL that's in the red zone.
Oh.
So you can imagine the action, and like there's not any commercial breaks. It's like a paid thing. And there's this guy, I believe his name was Chris something, who's the host, and I was like, he has to drink 10 cups of coffee to keep up with every game, because in the morning usually kickoff starts around like 8:08 or no, I mean, sorry, 12:08, 12:15, and there's 6 games going on. So they have all 6 games on the screen.
Wow.
And he's like, and this Chris guy's like, we're going to go to the Saints game real quick. They're over there at the 18-yard line. And, and then he starts going, he goes, oh, we have an update over at the Saints game, the other Saints game or whatever. And it just keeps moving for like 4 hours straight. And
wow. We thought we were hardcore here at Mornings with Lone Star, but we can't hold a
That's
candle
real.
to this
It's a
Chris
real
guy.
thing. And he does it every Sunday.
Holy
and,
cow.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing, actually. Because you know what's even better is this is how you know how serious they are. You go to the channel, and it just says, please wait. And that's how, I mean, there's nothing running on that channel, but please wait for NFL Red Zone.
Okay, now that I would watch.
So, and then you're waiting. Like, we're sitting there.
Yeah,
Like, in the
I would
morning,
be there.
he'd turn it on. I'm just waiting. I'm like, can we put something else on? No, man. We got to wait.
Wait, turn it into a drinking game. You know, whatever minute it comes on, you fill that square out, take a shot. Yeah.
That's my other complaint about the NFL is why on Sunday?
Oh, that's right.
And it's like, who wants to drink on a Sunday? Because tailgate is a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I can't. That's why I'm probably not really.
Okay,
into
Red Zone
football.
people, let's get this stuff straightened out here. We can make some money off of this.
But yeah, so I'm interested to see the controversy that's going to turn out. Especially, I guess there's a game today. But yeah.
Let the fun begin. We made our predictions. I stand by mine. I'm still waiting for them to haul Roseanne Barr out of mothballs to kind of get people's minds away from it by mangling the anthem again.
You know what I heard? That she's coming back to TV.
She is, which is going to be odd.
Is that? What's that about?
Well, it was really popular back in the day. NBC used to own the night. It was called Must See TV, and believe me, everyone else was like a close or a distant second. Roseanne was one of them. It was kind of the anti. Well, it was for the time the modern version of All in the Family, or just the slice of middle America, and it resonated. And unfortunately, as what happens is when the star gets big, they want to take their character big with it, with more money and more power. And the show kind of reflected that, to where the whole family wins the lottery, like $100 million. And so it changed the whole dynamic. And then on the final episode, you find out that she made the whole thing up, that the husband had died years before and there was no lottery. And it was a very surreal ending. I think they tried to do a Newhart ending and just failed miserably on that.
Yeah, well, I mean, especially with people who invested so much time, and then the backlash is that.
Right.
But it's now known. Like it's a famous thing, that ending.
Right. It's right up there with it. So coming back, it's like Will and Grace is making a comeback, but they actually ended the original series in a way that you can't have this series, so they're going to have to work their way out of it.
And what's interesting is that some of the returning actors and actresses are coming back.
Well, it would be interesting to see John Goodman back, since he died in the show. So,
well, maybe that itself was a dream. We don't know. They can do
a dream within a dream within a dream.
They have a Jacob's Ladder scenario that they have an infinity loop of just.
We were getting outright Shakespearean here with a dream.
And that's how good this show is.
That's how deep. Wow, this is the modern Shakespeare. Roseanne,
I can't wait.
Well played, Roseanne. Well played.
But you're listening to Mornings with Lone Star. We're going to take a quick break. Again, we have our friend and neighbor, Vicky, in the studio.
Chomping at the bit.
Yeah, she's ready to go. We're going to talk about a big sale for books. If you're a book lover, or if you're in general like a library lover, this is a great opportunity to come out and check your local library. Stick around here on Mornings with Lone Star at irlonestar.com and Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1.
We can read about famous heroes or folks like me and you.
Conroe Coffee is a local coffee shop located in the heart of downtown Conroe at 206 North Main Street, Conroe, Texas. Between the Crichton Theater and the Owen Theater, Conroe Coffee serves breakfast, lunch, and dinner, along with tasty treats and Italy's favorite coffee. Have your favorite coffee or just have a midday snack be personally delivered to you at any location in downtown Conroe. All you have to do is call 936-CONROE-C or 936-266-7632.
We'd like to thank our sponsor at Conroe Coffee for supporting Mornings with Lone Star and Lone Star Community Radio. Don't forget to check them out online at conroecoffee.com.
We can read about magic kingdoms. You can do it.
We are back. Mornings with Lone Star with Dick and Skippy. This is, believe it or not, the nitty-gritty hour. This is where we take on the tough topics. But
Like the library.
we have a special guest with us right now.
I'm very excited.
I am excited too. I'm a library nerd. I mean, I'm the guy who can go to libraries or bookstores. I can lose myself for 6 hours in a Barnes & Noble, no problem. I bemoan the loss of Walden books from the malls. You know, I'm nerdy like that. But libraries rock.
Yes.
Totally.
And it's free,
And it's free. My favorite color.
which I have a lot of questions for. 'Cause
Right?
Nothing's free.
Well, who are our questions for? They are for Vicky.
Vicky, welcome to
Hello.
Mornings with Lone Star. How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
It's good to have you in the studio. And we met over at the Conroe Library. Is that officially the Conroe Library, right?
Yes, that's Conroe Central Library.
Central
is the
Library.
Official name.
And
Central headquarters.
There you
well,
go.
you know, they do a lot there.
They
I got
do.
to see behind the door kind of stuff. And they have
He got to see
Like
behind
the
the
backroom
ball.
dealings of the library.
the better restrooms, basically. Wink, wink.
Oh.
And I'm just kidding. Actually, what I learned is that's where they process majority, if not all, incoming books for the library system here in Montgomery County. So they do all the spine stuff, the sticker. I mean, there was literally a person sweatshop working, in the back doing all this stuff.
Cursing the name of the Dewey Decimal
Yeah,
System.
it's like, oh, come on now. But no, it's really interesting and almost fascinating to see, because libraries have been around. Okay, I don't think you're a historian, but when do you think the first library, because we're playing a game, so in the next segment we'll look it up and see who wins. So you can't pull out your phone yet.
No,
okay?
I got
That's
this.
not
I
fair.
got this.
When do you think, and we have to put parameters on this,
Mm-hmm.
is the first library, I don't know the right word, but basically paid for by the United States government? Because are we state funded or are we
We're
federally funded?
county.
County funded.
County
Let's do county. What do you think the first county library?
See, I was going to
Was
go with the
established?
Library of Alexandria
Me
3,000
too,
years
me
ago,
too.
but no.
No,
you
no.
had to
See, I had to put parameters on
You
this.
put
'cause,
parameters on
it would make it a little harder. And then almost second question: when was the first county library here in Montgomery County?
I'm going to say, how old is Montgomery County? 130 years? Something like that?
I have no idea.
Part of me is thinking along those veins. I'm going to say the county library system is celebrating 100 years, thereabouts.
How about
I
there?
am not Wikipedia. I am Wikipedia.
Wikipedia.
Wikipedia. Hashtag Wikipedia.
Yes.
Okay, I'm looking this up now. You guys
Yes,
keep talking.
which means you need to be talking to someone who really is very knowledgeable. You need to be talking to our library director who has probably written Wikipedia with the true facts.
Well, this is a game, so don't. I mean, you got to guess. You can't.
guess.
You can't cop out of this.
I took my guess.
So you said. I'm right. I got to
45,
write this down.
not-
Yeah, I say 100 years with like a 5-year over-under.
Okay, this isn't Price or Right.
I'm going to say 101 years. Well, while you look at that,
I'm getting a pen.
I got to
All right,
ask.
so-
I got to ask Vicky a hardcore question here. So
Hold on, we're not done yet.
Oh,
I got to
dear.
write
We're still on
this
the game?
down. I got to write this down.
Are you ready to write it down?
All right, Sean. What is for question 1? First county library in the United States.
In the United States, that would be a county. Well, I would say the District Library of the Library of Congress, 1785.
1785.
That
okay.
sounds good.
And then question 2 was here in Montgomery County. What would you say?
100 years exactly with
One
the 2-year under
Plus
over.
2. Okay. Vicky, question 1.
I think it's in New York.
You think of a location instead of
yes.
a year?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So New
I
York.
am. I go that way. Remember, Wikipedia.
Okay, New York. I like it. Now, question number 2.
The county, I would say like 1945 with the Hub group of women.
Oh man, see.
See, she's got that inside track.
Well, not,
Yeah.
we got a
remember.
ringer in the studio.
Well,
with
there's
us today.
somebody at that library that just repeats facts all the time, and
Hey.
she just casually listened, and now she's pulling it back.
Whenever someone comes in the library and they ask me a question, I go right upstairs to reference desk. They know everything.
Well, at least you're a warm body downstairs. How
There
about
you
that?
go. There you go.
Okay, so my guess, you said 1785. It's in New York. I'm gonna say 1800s because just that's a horrible answer, and I like giving bad answers. Here locally, I would say the first library system would be like 1952.
You say 52.
Yeah.
Okay, so Dick says 52.
I'm gonna look
I
these
say-
answers up at our break. So if you have a guess, go on Mornings Lone Star on Facebook. You don't win anything. So, but unless we'll say your name, how about
We'll
that?
give you bragging rights.
But now let's focus a little bit about why Vicky's here and what Vicky does. Which way do you want to go in that order? You want to say who you are, what you do?
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
Vicki Christopher and I have been president of Library Friends of Conroe since the library moved to the current location, which was 1994. Now, it's mainly because no one else wants to really take over my position, so we actually had to change our little bylaws so that I could keep doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So, love doing it. And we have a huge book sale, like one in the fall, one in the spring, usually raise about $6,000 in 2.5 days at each one.
Nice.
And so the fall one is usually the big one. For some reason, I don't know. I think in spring there's so much going on, but in the fall, next weekend there's also
Possibly
so much
spring
going on.
cleaning in the spring, but in fall maybe you find the book that
Gathering.
Grandpa wanted.
Gathering.
Well, what it is Texans are so afraid of the cold. They get these books and they know they're not coming outside.
A lady came.
Oh, I thought you were going to say getting the books so they could burn them. So I'm glad you did not go that dark route,
No,
my young friend.
not yet.
Okay.
A lady came in yesterday, actually, and it was that reason she got like 20 books for $3.50 because we're having this huge half-price sale. And it was strictly so that she would have them to read during the winter so that she would not have to get out in the cold.
See, I really thought she was going to go towards the burning angle on that one.
I was waiting for it.
And I was like, I can't believe someone actually would tell you that. But no, you tricked me, and I almost tricked you.
Almost. I'm just thinking, Dick, now I'm a Woodlands boy, not Conroe, so you may have different weather patterns up here. Do you guys get snowed in Conroe in the winter?
In my mind.
Okay, because I'm trying to figure out
I'm
what would
just telling
necessitate
you
many books.
the habits of people in Texas.
Gotcha.
If it's around 40 degrees, people are like, oh, there's ice on the roads, can't drive. I mean, you know how it is, right?
Oh, absolutely.
So it's
I grew up
chaos.
driving in England, believe me.
It's chaos.
They're idiots on the roads up here. Sorry.
So we got Vicky, and you have the sale coming up.
Yes, it starts next Thursday, October 5th. Starts at 4:30. It'll be to 8 o'clock that night. That's when the stuff really goes fast. We have people usually being in line like 3 o'clock. We have benches for them to stand. It goes all through the library, snakes to the back.
What's the secret here? What am I missing?
I know people don't realize, but if you are a book nerd, like all of us that go to these
What's a
sales
book
are-
nerd?
A book
You're
nerd.
looking
we,
at 'em, my
we
friend.
Can't. Yes, it's like we see a book and we have to have it. It speaks to us. And like this summer, I did the hardest thing. I realized that our second floor was going to fall down to the first floor because of all the books. Another thing, through the years, I've been collecting the books, the ones that come in a series. You got to follow that character,
Yeah.
the Brad Thor, the Vince Flynn. You got to follow those characters, see what they're doing. So I was collecting all of them, and I thought that when I retired that I would have time to read. But no, I have no time to do that hardly because I'm down at the library all the time doing what I really like to do. But to go through, and I realized I needed to get rid of some of the books. I went through the closets, the under the bed, all these things, very, very scary hoarding thing.
It does sound like you're a
Yes.
little bit of a hoarder.
Oh, my God.
Does anyone talk
And-
to you about this?
Yes, my husband.
Oh, you found him. Okay.
I did, under some books.
Under the
But
Oxford.
I took 25 file boxes out of my house to the library, and I still have so many. And it was the hardest thing. You look at this book, and you're like, I need this book. I need this book. It's kind of it's a scary thing. I realize that to people who don't understand it. But everybody that comes into the library really pretty much gets it.
Right.
Yeah.
Vicky, I'm recovering from the flood. I lost books this time because unfortunately after the last flood, the ones that survived, I boxed up, put in the garage, and guess what flooded this time? So I'm looking to replenish. As Dick pointed out, it's kind of hardcore, this sale. Is this like Macy's at the Black Friday? Are there like fights?
We are known to be one of the nicer ones. And actually, down in the Woodlands, it can get scary.
I heard rumors.
Yes, they have a sale in the spring. Ours, we let people know that that a dealer has already come through the sale. That's the main issue right there, is that so many people are selling books online now. But we have contracted with Brandon, and he has about 25 or 30 Texas library friends around the state. And so what he does, comes in and he'll, the little ISBN on the back, he'll take that and scan it. And you want it to sound like Vegas, because if it goes ding-a-ling-a-ling, that means, all right, we can make some money off this. So he will come through and do that. But a lot of the dealers will go to these sales because they are trying to get something valuable to sell online.
I used to do that at the college bookstore.
Did you know?
Well, because they would buy the books back for a fourth of the price you paid, and I said I'll sell it online. I'll pay half the price you paid.
See, I had libraries and bookstores to kind of recapture my youth. I grew up on the Hardy Boys and Danny Dunn and Tom Swift, and these are book series. And I actually, one of my pride collections was a 1929 first edition Hardy Boys of the Tower of Treasure. We all grew up with like the blue books, with the blue spines. Well, actually, there was a tan spine version of it for the first like 10, 20 books, where they were in a jalopy. It was 1920s and 30s. And then they rewrote them to more modern. And, of course, nowadays they work for the government, I think. But, yeah, that was I always hit the old bookstores at, Old Town Spring or somewhere trying to find Tom Swift, Danny Dunn, all these old ones.
Well, the folks who are just now tuning in, we have Vicki from the Conroe Library, Montgomery County Library System, learning about the big sale happening down the street. We got to take a break here on Mornings of Lone Star. Thanks for sticking with us. We'll be back here on IRLoneStar.com.
Conroe Coffee is a local coffee shop located in the heart of downtown Conroe at 206 North Main Street, Conroe, Texas. Between the Crichton Theater and the Owen Theater, Conroe Coffee serves breakfast, lunch, and dinner, along with tasty treats and Italy's favorite coffee. Have your favorite coffee or just have a midday snack be personally delivered to you at any location in downtown Conroe. All you have to do is call 936-CONROE-C or 936-266-7632.
We'd like to thank our sponsor at Conroe Coffee for supporting Mornings with Lone Star and Lone Star Community Radio. Don't forget to check them out online at conroecoffee.com.
When you need a book, go from A to Z. When you come and read a book at the Library.
We are back. Mornings with Lone Star with Dick and Skippy. He's Dick, I'm Skippy. We got Vicki in the studio with us from the County Library System. We are rocking it. We're talking book nerd stuff, flashing back to the old days when I would read Hardy Boys and Tom Swift and Danny Dunn, and I need those books. I need to recapture my youth desperately. But Vicki is kind of tempting me. She's sitting across from me, and she pulled some things out of her bag, Dick. And I want to ask about these things she has here.
Well, do you want to do the question first?
Which one?
I found the first county library.
Oh, okay.
I found that. You found the answer for...
Well, I found the county library, so you talk about the county library, and I'll desperately search for
the first county library, or a library to serve an entire county, is the Brumback Library. It is located in Van Wert, Ohio, and so that's pretty cool. Actually, I didn't. It's the first county library.
Does it have a date of establishment?
I'm looking for. You think it would say that at the very beginning, but no.
One would think. Well, I've got the first county library for Montgomery County.
Okay.
1947.
I was very close.
You were very close by the Hub Club.
What do I win?
Well, we already established nothing.
Yeah,
so.
you won bragging rights. But yes, Montgomery County Library began as a collection of 1,200 volumes housed in a Conroe School Recreation Center.
1899.
For the
first U.S. county library.
How about that? Wow. Well, if I could go back in time.
So I technically won that one because I said 1800.
You did.
She said New York.
Yeah, I said Washington, realizing that Washington was not Washington until like way later. But so Vicky, what do you got there? I'm seeing cassette tapes and
Yes.
vinyl and
Oh my gosh. Yes, it is amazing what we get for donations. Whenever the community hears that we've got one of these book sales coming up, they even donate more. They donate all through the year, but even more so. What gets interesting is when I walk back there and there's maybe 20 boxes and you're like, oh my gosh, besides saying that, but you realize when you go through it that a family is cleaning out. And the sad thing,
Are there thieves?
yeah, the sad thing is that a lot of them are having to downsize. A lot of them are moving away. The saddest is when a family member is having to clean out a house due to a death in the family. And that is a hard thing for me to go through, especially when I know who the family is.
oh yeah,
And I feel such a responsibility when I go through these books. And a lot of times, these families, they're under so much stress, and they just want to get that house emptied out so they can move on. You would not believe how many family Bibles get donated like that. And so we kind of put those aside and try to contact them. Another thing that got donated like that, and I actually took me about 2 months to find who it belonged to, but it was all these diaries of this lady. And I read one of the years, it's one of those, it was like peeking through a window. You couldn't stop. And just reading all of her things. Finally got a hold of her because it was like, I needed to know, did she ever remarry? What happened to that grandson? All
That's
these
awesome.
things. So I did find him and talk to him, and she lived happily ever after.
good.
But some of the things that we get donated, of course, now vinyl is, the rage right now.
It is.
So we have to kind of be careful when things come in vinyl, that some of them could be a little more valuable. Last year on the silent auction, I had a lot of old 80s rock. And,
yeah.
it was the covers that people wanted. And I think we did like $20 for each album on the silent auction. That's
Not
pretty
too
good.
bad.
Not too bad. But this is Willie Nelson and Leon Russell for y'all. And this is really in excellent,
It is.
excellent shape. It's even got the little slip covers
Yeah.
in
Here,
there.
hold it up in front of
So-
you so the
here.
the webcam can see. There we go. No, you did great.
This
We'll ignore
came
that
out.
part. Oop.
Oh, you're
Did I
fine.
put that?
Yeah,
There
we
you
we
go.
can still hear you.
Okay.
So hold it up in front of you there, and we
Here
can.
you go.
There we are. Let the audience see
Boom.
that.
So-
Willie and Leon.
Leon's
wonderful.
looking good.
Yes,
Yeah.
looking good. Now, this is a kind of a scary thing here. That's for y'all.
Oh, wonderful.
This is a
Thank you.
scary thing. This is the cassette, and it's so funny to see some of these kids come in and actually go, what is that? And, but this is what it is. But the scary thing, Willie Nelson sings Christofferson.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And my thing is like, why?
Well, they sing each other songs all the time.
Yeah, I know. But this is a little cassette for
All
you.
right.
Oh, this is great.
And
I love
Harry Connick Jr.,
Oh.
would he just die looking at himself like that? This is from 1998. So, but we get these all the time. We had some 8 tracks donated a couple of months ago, but, I put those out for like a quarter or something, and they just go because people want to just have them for collectors. I wish I'd had one to give you. And all the VHS movies that get done. It's like, okay, we can't take any more VHS movies. No one really, I have to say that in our exercise room, we still have one of those big TVs, and it has where you can play a VHS
Oh, yeah.
or a DVD. So some people really, they still buy the VHSs, but we don't have enough room really for that, so we do not do that.
What wonderful gifts. These are gorgeous. The My Pride and Joy, I have a Willie Nelson album where he's clean cut. He's wearing a suit on the stage, early Willie Nelson. So this is great, man. I want to add this to my collection that includes
Whoa.
the Hobbit soundtrack.
Whoa.
And Saturday Night
I have
Fever.
a record player in the back.
You do?
We're going to have to rock, paper, scissors for it.
Bring it on, my young friend.
Yeah. We'll do that over the air.
And then this is another donation I got for y'all.
Oh, great.
Paul Harvey, The Rest of the Story. And so this is for y'all. And
I call dibs on this.
We get bookmarks too that are, always in the books. Do you know, since 1994, I always think going through all these books, I know I'm going to find some money. I know I'm going to find some money. And all these years, I bet I found a total of $20. We keep thinking that we're going to have a gold mine. And, for the library friends at Conroe.
I was going to ask, what's the weirdest thing ever donated? Had someone donated a book and you open it up and it was carved out in the shape of a, gun or something?
We haven't had that, but I've had some interesting donations that were kind of, okay, let me tell you.
Settling in for this one.
There's some that you're like, oh my gosh, why did they do this? Some you're like, Playboy magazines to the library.
We were talking about that today.
Yeah.
That was one of my questions.
You hadn't it right. But I opened up this box one time and there were like probably 3 years of Playboy magazines.
Were they the Braille editions, though? Because it did come out in Braille.
You would probably like that.
I very much so, because it proved positive that we read it for the articles.
Was that in a parody movie?
What, a Braille?
Braille edition of Playboy?
No, it's for real. I mean, seriously, Playboy came out in Braille. So there were articles to be read.
I have never seen one of those.
What movie was
donated?
So you were talking about the box full of Playboys.
Yes. So
they're still there.
We'll be back later. We'll take those off your hands.
We put those in the recycle thing. Didn't really want the little children coming through and seeing those. So we get a lot of things. Unfortunately, a lot of things that get donated. Our first thing to do is try to get it into the library system. Mm-hmm. But unfortunately, a lot of the condition is just not suitable enough. The binding's messed up. It's been stored out in the garage, unfortunately, which silverfish, all that.
Right.
If I open a box up and I see something in there moving, it gets shut and outside. We just can't take a chance. Right. One of my volunteers got bit by what is it? Scorpion.
Scorpion. Oh my
scorpion.
Goodness.
So we really had to kind of be careful on what gets brought in. But
see, it's a hardcore life for a librarian sometimes.
Very.
Live on the razor's edge world of opening a box.
You just never know what you're going to
find.
And what's amazing, you open a box and it's like, oh my gosh, who wants this? And then in like the 30 boxes that are, books that are crumbling apart in it, then you'll see this one thing and it's like this treasure, maybe the whole illustrated edition of something. But the fun thing is to find something that the library can actually put into the system.
Mm-hmm.
So that's our main goal. But at the book sale, we've got a silent auction going at the book sale too. We've actually even got 3 items they can already start bidding on. Speaking of football, we have one of the items is a tailgating where it's got the big igloo and about 20 grilling and barbecue books in it, and got the barbecue tools, barbecue sauce, barbecue spices in it. Anything. I mean, we really try to think of anything to raise money. The other one is the gardening. And right now, I think there's a $100 bid on the gardening one and $85 on the tailgating one. That's pretty good.
Well, without all this NFL kerfluffle, that bid would probably go higher. They're waiting to see if there's going to be an NFL next week or not for tailgating.
Well, they'll tailgate just in their driveway.
There you go.
Tailgate at the library.
There you go. Tailgate at the book sale.
There we go. Everybody, bring your
get them
barbecue
boozed up.
pits.
Get them boozed up and then go back
to
Where's those boxes of Playboys? I heard on the air.
We're not saying they're still there, but they might
but
be.
They could be, so you better look through everything.
Oh, man, that's great.
I know it's not like library thing. I was at a bookstore the other day, and they had this thing where the staff had each chosen a book, wrapped it up, and put it out for sale, where they put like clues on the front, like this is a family history. And it was pretty cool because you bought the book, not knowing what was inside.
So did you do that?
Indeed, I did.
And were you happy?
Very.
Really?
Yeah.
There's a lot of surprises at the book sale.
Yes.
How about that? They leave it to your imagination. We're sitting here with Vicki from the Conroe Library, Montgomery County Library System, talking about the big sale happening next weekend, 3 days. We're going to wrap it up when we come back with her, and we're going to talk about a little bit more details about when, where, what to bring, that kind of stuff. You're listening to Mornings with Lone Star, sponsored by Conroe Coffee.
Mm-hmm.
If you're just not tuning in, you missed the first half of the show. Don't forget podcasts on iTunes and Google Play and YouTube, too. So we'll be right back here on Mornings with Lone Star.
when you come and read a book at the library.
Conroe Coffee is a local coffee shop located in the heart of downtown Conroe at 206 North Main Street, Conroe, Texas. Between the Crichton Theater and the Owen Theater, Conroe Coffee serves breakfast, lunch, and dinner, along with tasty treats and Italy's favorite coffee. Have your favorite coffee or just have a midday snack be personally delivered to you at any location in downtown Conroe. All you have to do is call 936 Conroe C or 936-266-7632.
We'd like to thank our sponsor at Conroe Coffee for supporting Mornings with Lone Star and Lone Star Community Radio. Don't forget to check them out online at conroecoffee.com. I got a new song for Skippy that he can't get out of his head today.
Right, every day there's a earworm that just won't go away. Thank you, Dick. Thank you very much.
Welcome back to Mornings with Lone Star. Sitting with our neighborhood library friend, Vicky, and our neighbor, actually. They're down the street over there, and they're having a big sale next weekend, folks. Next weekend from, I believe it's October 6th through the, 5th through the 7th. Boom. Yeah, I got it right. Vicky, real quick, let our listeners know, where can they go to get the right information besides me?
Okay. The county website is www.countylibrary.org. And then it has all the locations of the libraries in the system there. So just go down to Central, and then you can click that on, and there should be like a flyer that's online about the book sale. But October 5th is 4:30 to 8, and we don't have it where you had to join that night to come. You just, please come. That's
Oh, there's
all we
no
want.
catch?
No, there's no catch. And
Maybe that's the catch.
we want you to use that $5 fee to buy books instead. And the silent auction starts at 4:30 that day and goes on through the next day. So if you see something on the silent auction, you can keep bidding on it, and I will actually have my cell phone available for you to call me on Friday if you need to check on your bid. October 6th, it's 9 to 4:30. And this is the first time we're ever going to be bringing out more items on Friday. Usually we have everything out, and we're saving back some things to try to get some people back in to raise more money. And then October 7th, that's Saturday, that's the crazy day. Well, Thursday night's really crazy, but on Saturday we have a $2 bag sale. We give you like the brown paper bag from the grocery store, that size. You can go into the large meeting room, fill it up, anything you want to put in it, for $2.
I am so there.
And as many bags, please, as you want to buy. And then the other areas that in the sale will be like the regular prices, which is, 50 cents up to $3. But most things are paperbacks. Most paperbacks are 50 cents. Most hardbacks are $1. But we're kind of trying to raise a little more money for the library. So there could be some trade paperback size books for $1, some of the newer hardbacks for $2. But one thing that we can't have on Thursday night is strollers or rolling devices in the sale due to safety. Fire marshal would, probably have a heart attack if he came that night and saw things with the strollers. And it's just not safe. People really are like leaning over and all these things.
I'm telling you, folks, I think it's going to be like a cage match. I think you should bring your money. I'm telling my wife to clear out the back of the Prius because we're going to be loading it up with books to replace the ones I lost in the flood. And I'm really looking forward to this myself. I'm a nerd. I'm a book nerd. I'm going to hit silent auction and everything.
On the silent auction, we got some great things. I've got a signed Arnold Palmer book, signed Barbara Bush book, Nora Roberts autographed, James Haley, who awesome history for Texas. One of his books is autographed. Astronaut Jim Irwin.
Oh, wow.
Signed book by him. Sue Grafton, Clive Cussler.
If you need some
awesome.
signatures,
Yeah.
I could come sign some books.
You know what? Let's just say you can't.
Well, you don't know. I'm a novelist. I actually wrote a best-selling novel a few years ago.
Man.
Oh, dear.
So I'm going to take
Can't
some
go
copies.
without a day.
Oh,
I'm going
dear.
to sign them. I'm going to slip them in, see if I can get more than 50 cents for them. Probably not.
Probably not.
but you never know.
Is this the pile we can burn? Oh, okay.
Well, I'm just saying about, the fire marshal might be there. Just the vision of a fireman at a library, we could just like really turn the crowd against him.
Oh, no.
He's here to burn the books.
Well, I want to say special thanks to Vicky for stopping
She's
by. It was
awesome.
a pleasure
Great.
to meet you.
Thanks.
This is a
Thank
great
you.
event coming up. Again, let's do the times and dates. We got the 5th through the 7th, and it's pretty much normal working hours, correct? Or is it?
Yes. The only thing
Operating hours.
Thursday is 4:30 p.m. to 8 p.m.
And folks, if you need a library card, they're faster than a pit crew at a NASCAR event. They really are.
Yes.
Well, they're trying to get you in. Dick and I are conspiracy theorists, and we just have to ask, Dewey Decimal System secret code bent on world domination?
I'd tell you, but I'd have to kill you.
I knew that was coming. Okay, but get your library
people.
card. They got books, they got movies, they got DVDs, they got events, activities. I am a library junkie, and you should be one too.
So, you know what? Check it out. We're going to be posting more information. If you're just now tuning in, we had Vicky from the Montgomery County Library talking about their upcoming sale next weekend. Just look up, really, how I found it, just look up Montgomery County Library TX, and you'll boom, 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 boom.
CountyLibrary.org. You can't go wrong there.
You're listening to Mornings Lone Star. We got a couple more minutes left in the show, so stick around. And coming up at 11 o'clock is going to be some Montgomery County lifestyle with your favorite Nathan Arizotti. So stick around for that, but we still got more Mornings Lone Star coming your way.
We can read about magic kingdoms. You can do it too. We can read about famous heroes, folks like me.
Conroe Coffee is a local coffee shop located in the heart of downtown Conroe at 206 North Main Street, Conroe, Texas. Between the Crichton Theater and the Owen Theater, Conroe Coffee serves breakfast, lunch, and dinner, along with tasty treats and Italy's favorite coffee. Have your favorite coffee or just have a midday snack be personally delivered to you at any location in downtown Conroe. All you have to do is call 936 Conroe C or 936-266-7632.
We'd like to thank our sponsor at Conroe Coffee for supporting Mornings with Lone Star and Lone Star Community Radio. Don't forget to check them out online at conroecoffee.com.
Pick up useful information. Good times while I learn.
All right, we're back.
We are back. Dick and Skippy talking
I know.
nitty-gritty library
I know
stuff.
how to do it.
Yeah, you got it going there, Dick.
I do. Welcome back, Mornings Lone Star. We got about 9 minutes
A few minutes left.
here. I do want to let you know, breaking news in the kneeling conspiracy is now a 6-year-old was kneeling during the national anthem. Or the pledge, the pledge. So we're moving on from the national anthem. We're going on to the pledge, folks.
They're doing the pledge. I figured it was next, and I can guarantee you that no 6-year-old on the planet did this of their own. I'm going to wake up and take a knee. Parents are now going to start to use their kids for this. I did hear that there's the Cy-Fair Youth Sports League has opted this weekend to not play the anthem so they can avoid, as we said in England, controversy.
Well, I mean, it's one of those things that it's funny how a society decides to change in its own natural way. And if this is what factors that change of not playing the national anthem before stuff, it's going to be interesting.
It is.
Because there's going to be the diehard, like, who still stands still playing it. We're still going to play it. Like, my favorite one right now, my theory is the NHL is going to have some huge issues because the NHL has a lot of teams are in Canada.
Right.
So they do both.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be kind of funny to see how that controversy gets turned around. And similar to the London NFL game where people were...
Right. Let's stand for God Save the Queen for a country that indeed introduced slavery to our country. Yeah. But good news. There's support for those who opt to stand and show
What happens
unity.
if an English person kneels during, like, protests their anthem, God Save the Queen? What would happen?
I think the Tower of London is still open for business. they'll probably haul you off and shackle you up somewhere.
No, really? Would you get in trouble in England for that?
I believe so. I got in a lot of trouble, like on a daily basis in England, just for being an American. And I would also rebel best that I could. But yeah, it was. Remember, in England there was total integration of church and state. So their school would start off with assembly, where there would be hymns and prayers and stuff. And that's how it is in England. You don't try to Americanize England. You don't go to another country and try to make it.
Well, I mean,
yours.
more if they just do something, they protest the song.
There's not
necessarily kneeling, but maybe they just do whatever. Because I know it's pretty interesting over there. Like if you say anything, you can get in trouble on certain.
You
certain
can,
things.
which is why it always seems to be the nuclear option. You have the skinheads and the soccer hooligans, and the rioters of Toxteth and Brixton. That you don't protest so much, you go anarchic with it. You're just filled with anarchy. You riot. You do whatnot. There are very few peaceful protests in England. It's either a strike or a riot. And I'm not summing up England in these words. It's a great country in many ways, but that's what you got there. You don't have a lot of the freedoms that we do have here and take for granted.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I like the cultural question and see how that works. But yeah, I just read that. I saw that article come up when during our break. I want to say special thanks to Vicky over there at the Conroe Library System, and
she left us some goodies.
She did, and I'm a little upset that you pretty much get to keep all of them because technically she handed them to you.
She did. I called Dibsies, and Dibsies is immutable.
I respect that. I respect that. Well, it's 10:50 right now, folks. We got about 5 more minutes. Anything else you want to talk about? I know we're gonna be back tomorrow, and we're gonna be here at 8 a.m. and then of course from 10 to 11, 8ish. Yeah, so I really don't know anything on top of my head.
Well, I want to wrap up the today's discussion of the NFL kerfluffle, that there is unexpected support for those who would like to stand and show unity for the anthem and flag, and that is the Lingerie League, or which is actually known as the Legends League now, which is
great. Everyone's got to have an opinion about this.
Yeah,
really
and they
excited.
are all for standing for the flag. And, we can tomorrow talk about, it's funny how even holding the flag horizontal on a football field is actually against the rules, or to wear a flag t-shirt or on your hat is actually against the flag code. It's what are the important arguments to go after? And we can delve into that tomorrow, I think.
No, that's boring.
It's boring.
Let's just see if who wins the Wednesday bet.
Who wins the
and then we're done with the
predictions.
topic. We're done.
We're
with
moving
the topic.
on. Next week will be NFL free.
Let's hope. Right. So we got one more day. Is that what you're telling me?
There we go.
Okay, so we had the wrap up today. We had Hugh Hefner. He passed away, but he died a happy man. Things are still going on in Puerto Rico. Pretty serious situation, and it's funny to see. It's kind of unfortunate that all these huge media gods of nature happen because no one knows what to focus on. And that was part of the NFL deal where it's like, why don't we start focusing on Puerto Rico and not this flag dispute? And then Puerto Rico, of course, is on that. They're not a state, but we're still...
Well, they are U.S. Territory, so they pay taxes. They pay American taxes. They don't have full voting rights, but they do have representation. They are of us, and so it's not like we're
they don't
fighting
get
foreign
taxed
aid.
that much.
No, they don't pay all taxes, but there are U.S. taxes involved. But they are of us, and help goes to them. I know that the Jones Act was lifted today by President Trump, which allows non-U.S. flag ships to provide relief. And because there's people have been like, oh, he's refusing to let ships go. There are some issues with planes can't land, ships can't dock. They're too big. And there's actually a law prohibiting non-U.S. flag ships to provide aid to Puerto Rico. That was lifted today. So we have the USNS Comfort on its way out to Puerto Rico. And I'm doing this off the top of my head because I am informed. And so Puerto Rico relief is on its way. We are sending our thoughts out to everyone out there in Puerto Rico, even though they can't hear us with no cell phones and very little power. But sending you our warm fuzzies, people.
Yeah, that's true. That's for sure. And it's ongoing. I don't know. When does hurricane season end?
I think November. But you know what? All these storms in NFL keeps the minds off the statues. So that's a good sign.
That's true. Well, these kind of topics die really quickly.
They die really
have
quick.
Something else to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
You're listening to Mornings with Lone Star. We are sponsored by Conroe Coffee.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll be wrapping this up. Coming up next, we got some Montgomery County lifestyle with Nathan Arizotti. So stick around. Special thanks to the Montgomery County Library being our special guest this morning. That was so much fun to learn about it. And if you're just now joining us and you want to hear the podcast version, all you got to do is go to iTunes, Google Play, or YouTube, and you can watch us in about 24 hours. How about that? You're listening to Lone Star Community Radio, wherever Montgomery County's community radio station. We'll be back tomorrow morning at 8-ish.
Thanks for checking out this podcast of Lone Star Community Radio, Montgomery County's community radio station. If you enjoyed this recording, make sure to check out our past shows online at irlonestar.com or their respective video or podcast formats on YouTube, Google Play, or iTunes. If you have any questions regarding the show, either it being about sponsorships or questions for the host, contact the station manager at dick@irlonestar.com or call the station at 936-647-3776. This show was recorded in downtown Conroe, Texas at the Lone Star Community Radio Studios, and Lone Star Community Radio reserves all rights to this recording and images.